when I was younger, I used to think success meant all of the external things that we have grown to think it means. Having the career that expands years, that pays you a lot of money, wearing suited outfits that are tailor-made and awesome and looking like you're walking down the catwalk at all times, and just being that corporate body and being able to afford every single thing that you want in this life for yourself and for the people that you are around. You know, all of those things, having the car, the nice house, the spacious house, beautiful furniture, just to be able to do it all, to travel the world, to buy any type of expensive healthy food and not just be thinking I cannot afford healthy to eat healthy because it's so expensive. And I have come to realize after chasing these idea of success for a very long time that success is objective. The person who has all of those things are successful in their own rights. And the person who realizes that these are not the things that are going to make my life fulfilled is also successful. And it took me so long to realize this, and it cost me so much to be able to learn this lesson, that if this video is the thing that helps you to take some of that time off from learning it, I am very much open to sharing what my experiences are and why I don't want a successful life that I hate living. I want to talk a little bit about the difference between sacrifice and self-abandonment. We know that hard work takes a lot of effort. You know, we often hear you have to sacrifice something. You're not going to have it all the time, and you have to put in some work. There is no level of accomplishment that anybody is going to achieve without putting in the desired work. So we all know that you have to sacrifice something. But what is the limit is a question that I have been baffling with for a very long time, because I was born, if you're new to my channel, in an entrepreneurial family, and that's all I've known. I've seen work. I've not really seen rest. Now I'm growing into that season in my life, and I'm starting to see it in my family now as well, as everybody is learning and maturing. But it's always work. And so I just thought that's what it takes. You just have to always be working. Now, I still realize that it does require work. So I'm not saying that you don't have to do anything, because that would not be the full story. I am saying that there is a limit between sacrificing for the ultimate life that you desire and actually abandoning yourself in the process. I have abandoned myself in the process, and that's why I think I'm qualified to talk about what does that look like and why it's just not the answer to getting that ultimate life that you desire. So now I want to talk about how achievement can still leave you exhausted. If you're new to my channel, I have gone through the collegiate level up to the master's in business tech related fields, and since I left high school, I just sat on this quest of going to college and achieving the ultimate life, because I thought that's what it was going to lead to. You know, getting the degree, then being able to get the job, then being able to afford all the things that I want to enhance my life, my quality of life, and the people around me. And after going through so much different experiences, many challenging, that have shaped me into who I am today, though, so no regret. But after going through all of those experiences, I have just been realizing that I could literally feel like I'm not where I want to be right now. But when I go over my resume, there's so much things that I've accomplished within the last 10 years since leaving high school. And along with those achievements, I've been accompanied by extreme exhaustion. I pride myself in being a very hardworking woman. I've always been one of the hardest worker, if not the hardest worker in the room at all times. I'm always there early. I'm always leaving late. I'm always showing up. And sometimes bragging about just being out working, because I just really thought that's all it needed to get there. And I saw a lot of people who didn't put in the amount of work that I put in, not to say that they weren't working, but in comparison, here we go with comparison, but let's just use it for the purpose of this video. I would say, based on what I see happening from their angle and what I'm doing, I would think that I'm putting in a lot more work. And I've seen them achieve majority of the things that I even wanted. And it kind of feels unfair, because you leave thinking, why did I put all of this work in just for somebody else to achieve all of their desires, while I am just not even at a level that I want to be at? And after doing all of that, the long hours of work and effort, and I ended up feeling burnout on multiple occasions. I am just realizing that the achievements are things that you feel proud of, but you literally feel like you're burnt to the crisp, and it takes a lot of effort to recover from that, oftentimes more than we are even aware of. So now, reaching this level of self-awareness, I really do believe there is so much more level of self-awareness that I will unpack as time goes by. But after reaching this level of self-awareness, I literally sat down and I asked myself, what does success mean to me now? Because by no means am I anti-success. By no means am I telling anybody not to go after the dreams and desires that they want to go after. By no means do I feel like, even though I don't have the desired outcome that I want, that my efforts were wasted, because I don't believe they were. Everything that I went through has shaped me to be the person that I am today, and I don't know who I would be without those experiences. So I cannot discount my experiences, even if they did not yield the outcome that I desire. But asking myself what success means to me now is a very big question that I really have to be intentional about, because for so long I thought it was just these external things. And of course, there are some things that are external that we do use as a measure of success, because there are things, we still need tangible things to be able to see. We still need metrics. We still need all of those things that help you to identify your success in a certain area. But for me, success right now is more of alignment. It's more of a peaceful experience. It's more of being proud of who I am more than what I have accomplished. It's being clearer on my boundaries. It's being patient with myself in my communication process. It's being patient with myself on the days when I don't get it right. Because there's one thing to have these accolades that are tied to your academic accomplishments and your professional work, but then you feel personally in your life that you're lacking, and no amount of external accomplishments can really help you to feel internally content. This has to be, the inner work is something that is continuous, and something that no accomplishment on the outside can fix, right? But it's more of alignment, having opportunities that are a good fit for me, having myself being in environments that bring out the best in me, that helps me to feel valued, and that value my experiences and my skills and my abilities, and having peace in my life, whether that means not holding on to those external things so tightly, and giving myself the space needed to be able to feel more grounded again. Because as I've mentioned prior, I've gone through the burnout experience. I would say this is my second time now, and this time feels, because I'm aware of it, I don't know if it feels better but it does feel very strange. I think that's the word that I'm going to go with for now. It does take a lot of intentionality. I don't want to keep putting myself through this experience just to capture success in other people's eyes. And one of the other things that I'm realizing is also that I want my success for me. I want my success. I don't want other people's success. I want mine. And I'm going to talk about this in a bit more in the next chapter. So when I think about the kind of life that I want to build, I think freedom. I think autonomy. I think ownership. I think being unbothered. I hear we throw that word out there a lot, and it's not a word that is just flaw. It's really living a life that is truly yours. You know, we have life, bills, responsibilities, we have all of those things. And by no means am I ever going to tell anybody to just be reckless with your life, because at the end of the day, I've put a lot of intentionality and plan into my transitions, because I've learned that being reckless is the worst. Is the worst way to express your frustrations. And so that's what I think about when I think about the life that I want to build. I think autonomy, I think freedom, whether that's time freedom, location freedom, financial freedom, all of it, because there's nothing more satisfying and there's nothing more successful, in my opinion, than being able to move on your own space, on your own time, on your own dime, on your own schedule, right? And it's not to say that you're never going to be accountable to anybody, but it's being able to create a life that is conducive of you making those decisions that are not always tied to somebody or something. And I don't fully know what that looks like 100%. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, but I have a clear idea of what I don't want it to be, and I think that's the thing that's guiding me into what I want it to be. And so if you're in this space right now where it feels kind of familiar, or it is very middle groundy, I think I can relate to this a lot, because I've been trotting in this middle ground for a while. I'm definitely not where I started, but I'm surely not where I want to be yet. But I can sit with you in this space and understand it a little bit more. And so if you're in this space and this is how you feel, you're in the right space, you're on the right channel. And I just want you to know that you're not alone in this process. So if this video was helpful to you, please give me a like, comment below what stood out to you the most, and what are you learning about what success means to you as you're building your life. What are some things that you just don't want in it as you're trying to be a lot more intentional? And please consider subscribing if you have not yet subscribed, and follow me on all social media platforms at Khrista-Lee Amor. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I'll see you in my next video. Let's go make some mistakes. Bye.